Welcome back to Long Box Diving, where we explore comics and story arcs pulled from the long box. And it's time for New Comic Book Day again. Wednesday is past. Hopefully you've read all these issues because we got some good stuff happening this week in comic books. And today we're going to review Inferno number 3. Inferno number 3. This is by Hickman, Sylvia Casali, and man, this was actually really pretty good. All right, so the first thing I need to point out, this is a good successor to House of X Powers of 10. It's a fantastic successor to that, and it's kind of a shame that it's taken this long to get to this point. I understand they wanted to do it in phases and whatnot. That's fine, but we just got a ton of crap books in between. Dark Angels was pretty good, and that went away. Hellions is pretty good, and that's going away. The whole X-Men series has been they're just villains in it. It's kind of sad. Marauders was never really good for me. Excalibur was never really good for me. New Mutants was basically a book about millennials. It was kind of dumb. So there just really hasn't been a good X-Men book. And then we get this. Book 1 and 2 were fantastic. We're now into book 3. And basically what we've done here is we've gone back into the past. And it's when Professor X dropped off Cypher and Krakoa. And then we actually see, it's pretty clear that Warlock is with him. And Warlock, and they no self-friend experience says that we do not. So can we trust him? No, we can't trust him. And so basically, he's going through and he's building up Krakoa, and he's adding, the interface to be able to speak to Krakoa. But at the same time, he's linked Warlock into the fabric of Krakoa, that's kind of interesting. And then we see a bunch of stuff like the cuckoos go from 3 to 5. He shows them how they do dormitory seeds. Then we see how they do portal gateways. And look at this, we got all of them sitting at the tree there. That's pretty cool. And then they know they built nowhere. Right, but in Cypher, again, this is spoiler. Cypher's like, they don't know that Warlock's there. Even though Krakoa is blind to this place, Warlock is not. And they're talking about killing Destiny. And you see Cypher like, dang it. They are villains. They're villains. Okay. So, but it's very clear. Professor X and Magneto are villains. They're villains. And so we have Destiny and Mystique meet with the White Queen. The White Queen kind of shows them an alternate history. And Destiny's like, they're hiding things. The White Queen's on her own, but she's going to give them gifts to help with, fighting Professor X, etc. Moira has been taken captive. Professor X... Moira has been taken captive and taken up to the Forge. You remember where Nimrod is? Yeah, that's where she's at now. And then Professor X and Magneto's like, I figured out you're right. We're still in control, and we always win, right? And then we get to the Forge. I mean, it's just beautiful. Look at that. Up above the sun, and we see Omega Sentinel talking to, Nimrod, and she's like, I'm from the future. And we get a nice timeline thing in here, too. So, from my understanding, the way this goes, Moira's 10th life, or maybe her 9th life, they went to the future. We have Omega Sentinel that was then sent to the past before Moira, and is so now, therefore, still alive with memories. I think that's the way it works. And so she's initiating the Nimrod protocols earlier than the previous incarnations of Moira's life, and therefore they can actually proceed to beat the mutants before the mutants become a problem. And then we get like the vault opens and the post-humans come out and the mutants beat them. And then we get Nimrod was sent to the past to defeat the mutants, but he was not strong enough. He was still, and he gets beaten. Then we see they go against the Phalanx, and Dominion after Dominion gets conquered. That's crazy, man. See, now we're finally referencing the things that happen in Powers of X, or House of X, Powers of 10. The things that are happening there, the Chimera. We even get, that's in a different book. But we get all this kind of stuff that we were talking about back then. We're actually seeing it now. But what happened for the last couple years? We haven't seen anything the last year or two about this. Nothing. And we're finally back to it. And this was what made it cool to begin with. That is what made it cool. This should have been what we were doing the whole time. And I don't know what happened. I don't know how it got off track. But that's what should have been happening the whole time. So we get all these pages here of just timeline stuff. Which, it was a big book anyway. So that was okay. And then we have... So Moira's taken captive. Professor X and Magneto are going to rescue her, but Mystique and Destiny are already there, and they're like, hey, they're not here to help you, and it's going to get bad. And then just as Professor X walk into the room where they think Moira is, teleporter, boom, and there's Nimrod and Omega Sentinel. Finally, right? All right, so, cover. That's a beautiful cover. I would give that cover 3.5. The art inside, definite 3.5, and the story is really cool. So I give the story a 4. So we're talking 3.7 for Inferno. This has been a fantastic series. I am kind of sad that we've had to wait this long to get it. We shouldn't have had to wait this long to get it. This has been great. So if you're not on Inferno, you need to go get Inferno. It is a nice follow-up to House of X Power 10, and you can just pretend that the last couple of years has not even happened, it's not even in existence, and just wipe it out of memory. That'd be awesome. We'll see you next time here in the Long Box.